Helen Yee here with the Las Vegas Sports Network, and I'm here at the Westgate Super Book on the big day, the big event where most people bet more on this game than any other sporting event, and I'm honored to being joined by the Vice President here, Jay Kornegay. How are you?
Good, Helen. How are you?
Good. I noticed you're extremely busy, and the lines, they've calmed down a little bit, but earlier in the day, I saw them wrapping around like even the Corvette and all the way over there. Right?
Yeah, we had probably a couple hundred people in line. We always try to get the word out that don't wait until game day to bet the game, but it's okay. We expect it, and the line was really small yesterday, pretty much throughout the entire day. So we really encourage people, maybe they can remember next year, bet early, don't wait till game day. But that's fine. The line moves fairly quickly. We have 12 windows open, and everybody seems to be in good spirit.
But why do you think so many people wait until the day of the game to make their bets?
Especially here in Las Vegas, there's just so many other things to do. They're thinking about enjoying all the parties, all the other amenities, all the great restaurants that we have in this town. A lot of them don't really necessarily think about the game until game day. And so Sunday morning they wake up and go, I'm going to make a bet on the game. And but over the years, they've been a lot better. The general public has been educated in the whole process, as a few of them experienced, the big game weekend in Las Vegas, and they've learned to bet early, or especially now with mobile apps. They can bet off the mobile apps, and even if they're a non-Nevada resident, you can sign up for an app. It only works within the state borders, but while you're here, sign up for an app, you'll never have to stand in line. So that's a great option for a lot of people.
And it looked like down there, though, they kind of enjoyed, just being in line and talking about, Patriots and Falcons. But I do know here at the Westgate, you guys offer almost 400 prop bets. Was there anything in particular that kind of surprised you this year in regards to that?
No, actually, it's been very typical betting patterns so far. The general public that come into Las Vegas to enjoy the weekend, they always want to see things happen, so they like to bet on the overs. They want all these players to do well, succeed. They want an exciting game. We have a lot of yes or no props. They always like to bet yeses more than the nos because they want to see things happen. So a lot of times they're getting really good odds on some of these things happen that don't normally happen during a football game, whether it's a safety or overtime or a missed extra point. They're getting certain odds for that, and that low risk, high reward scenario is very attractive to a lot of these guests. So very typical betting patterns so far.
Now, I do know assistant manager Ed Salmons, he did say something where on the coin flip, it was like $2,000 and $1,300 of that was betting on heads, and he mentioned that you guys need tails. Why?
Every single year we need tails. It's just human nature. We believe that people just like to bet heads or say heads, and that's very typical. Another typical betting pattern that people will bet heads more than tails. So every single year we always need the tails, and we haven't done very well. I think we won last year, but it's a pick 'em because it's literally a coin toss. But yes, it is. We had one guy that came in a few years ago that bet $20,000 on the coin toss. He drove in from LA, didn't know what to bet. He was contemplating on both teams, and then he decided, you know what, I'm just going to get over with. I'm going to bet heads, and he won. He enjoyed the day, believe me.
I'm sure. I don't blame him. And so on ESPN, it was reported that there was almost like $100 million wagered this week. Is that pretty accurate?
Oh, I think it's if you go countrywide in this country, I've heard estimates like $4.7 billion that will be bet on this game nationwide. Now in Nevada, we'll have about 97% of it is actually bet outside of Nevada, illegally, of course. Only 3% is represented here in the state of Nevada. And last year we set a record of 132 million. So we're looking to set another record this year, surpassing the mark that we set last year.
What do you think it will be around this year?
I'm not sure. I'm always terrible at guessing this number because I seem to get it wrong every single year. I think we're going to just get over that because the previous record was 119 million 3 years ago. The year prior to last year, we had 115. Then last year jumped up to 132. So that was quite a spike. And that's the only thing that scares me of setting a record this year because we had such a jump last year. But because the popularity of sports betting and how this country loves football, how they love this event, and the great show that Las Vegas puts on for this weekend, I expect another record.
And looking at the two teams that will be playing today, the Patriots and the Falcons, I mean, can you talk a bit about the odds on that?
Yeah, we opened the Patriots a 3-point favorite over the Falcons, and it's pretty much been there since we opened it. We haven't moved it one time. We had some different variations of 3, but it hasn't gone to 3.5. It hasn't gone to 2.5. So this is what we call a bookmaker's dream. We really know what we're getting. It's really balanced action. It makes me a little bit more comfortable because we're not going to have a lopsided game where we either win a lot or lose a lot. I think we'll be okay no matter who wins. So it's a very comfortable feeling, heading to the kickoff.
And speaking of the kickoff, just being kind of right around the corner here, Patriots and Falcons, it's kind of like defense versus offense. What's your pick?
Well, I'm always a defensive guy, but history tells us that usually the defenses prevail, and we've all heard that defenses win championships. Well, it's very true. I believe this is the 5th or 6th time that the best defense has faced the best offense. In previous years, I think the defense has won 4 out of the 5 of those games. But the Falcons do look really good, and they have a pretty decent defense themselves. So that's why the number is very low. It's only, Patriots are only a 3-point favorite. But the one edge, and it's a big edge, the Patriots have experience. They've been here before. A lot of their players, they have great leadership, on both sides of the ball. So that's probably why you're seeing the Patriots a small favorite in this game.
Yeah, and of course being coached by Belichick, even though Dan Quinn's been here with the Seahawks, but it is Matt Ryan's very first Super Bowl in his career. Yes,
and that's really exciting, and he's been around, and that counts for something as well. He's an experienced quarterback. He's kind of been through there some tough years, and he's a great leader, and they have some great leaders on defense, so you can't just dismiss the Falcons because there are a lot of, some people call them a show pony because they score so many points, but I noticed them earlier in the year, and they are very physical, and that's a key component in winning this game as well. They will not back down. They'll be very physical with the Patriots.
Well, it is definitely slated to be such a great game, and here at the Westgate, where can people come, make bets, and is it open up until the game starts?
It is. We'll have open windows all the way to kickoff. What's really funny about that is we have lines pretty much all day long. I always tell everybody, bet as early as you can. But even today, as soon as you get in line, it moves fairly quickly. But right before kickoff, it's really weird because 2 minutes, 3 minutes before the kickoff, there's nobody at the windows. All of them are empty. Everybody's settling in, and then the coin toss happens, and it gets really quiet. Everybody wants to know heads or tails. It's just such an exciting event. I've been working. This is my 31st Super Bowl that I've worked at. I'm very envious of and very jealous of everybody that gets to enjoy this event that comes to Las Vegas. But we put on a really good show here, and we're just hoping everybody has a good time.
Yeah, and so far, it's only been smiles and people making their bets here at the Westgate Super Book. Jay, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.